Welcome back everybody, this is Pep, you're watching The Sentinel. Today I'm going to do a review of a classic Guerlain's men's fragrance, and that is Heritage Eau de Toilette version. So Guerlain's Heritage, the EDT, is classified as a woody spicy. It was released way back in 1992, which was just before the onslaught of fresh aquatics that came onto the market and became really popular, especially with males. Stuff like Aqua di Gio and a lot of the Calvin Klein releases. This has, in my opinion, really stood the test of time. It's probably not as popular because of the time it was released, but people who are into fragrances and have tried this, it's very highly regarded and really quite liked by a lot of people who have tried it and worn it. So I'm just going to spray some on to get the opening. I've already got a little bit on my hand for the dry down, and we'll just go through what I'm smelling. So to me, what I'm picking up a lot of is citrus, which I think is bergamot. There are spices in there as well, but they're not very sharp to my nose. So they're kind of, for want of a better description, soft spices that blend really well with the citrus of the bergamot, and it's actually a really lovely fresh opening, and I think there's a pattern here with the way this develops on your skin, which at the same time is both old world, I mean Heritage is a really apt name for this fragrance, but also still smelling very modern. And you pick up a woody, what I think is probably like a very nice creamy sandalwood almost from the beginning, and it becomes more apparent when the citrus and the spices start to quieten down. So what I also get here is some nondescript green notes blending in. It's a really nice fresh woody citrusy opening, and it's just really beautifully blended. So once the opening dies down and you start to move into the heart of this fragrance, I detect quite a bit of floral, and they really, what I like about this fragrance is they really come to the fore and then retreat. This fragrance, when I've worn it, has really delighted me in the way that different things come up, and I really like fragrances that do this because they kind of keep you interested throughout the whole wearing. And so once the opening dies down a little bit, I get a nice blast of well, blast is probably the wrong word, a nice push of jasmine with some light delicate rose in the background. So it does get floral, but then it doesn't stay floral, and the beauty of this fragrance is that you do get to experience a different opening, a different heart, and then ultimately a really nice dry down. And this to me is just a really nice classic masculine fragrance, and it just does it all so well. So once we start getting into the dry down of this fragrance, you start to get a bit more of a powdery amber, but the thing is that there are still some spices in play here that are part of this composition. And what the spices do is actually prevent the amber accord from getting too soft and powdery, and keeps it with the masculine slant. And again, I go back to how well composed this this particular fragrance is. Everything, it's, if I have to liken it to something, it's like a really well composed symphony where different parts star at different times and they all just work beautifully together. Nothing seems out of place. You can detect individual notes, even though there are a lot of notes according to the note pyramid in Fragrantica, and I can't even begin to pick up all of them, but I certainly what does come through I can detect, and it's just great that you get a fragrance like this that that just gives you something at every stage. And then, you know, well into the dry down, even though you think you've reached where it's going to end with the amber and it gets a little bit musky, then you get this really nice blast of cedar and sandalwood come through as well. And again, the best way I can describe this fragrance as you're wearing it is it pulsates on your skin, but at a really slow pace. So you get good performance from this fragrance, you know, up to 8 hours on my skin. This is an EDT as well, and projection is pretty soft, but that's probably a good thing, because when I've worn this, I've really just enjoyed it to myself, and because the projection is not, you know, powerhouse or beastly, this is just the perfect office scent for me. I've worn this to work a few times and it's just been great, and it stays close to you. It's in no way a fragrance that can possibly offend anyone. This fragrance really conveys a sense of complexity, class, and a little touch of mystery. I get, you know, the guy who's a very worldly gentleman wearing this, but certainly not someone who's too unapproachable. There is a sense of mystery. There's a sense of the guy having lots of life experience and someone you just want to be around, and that's how I feel when I wear this fragrance. So for me, this is probably more suitable to colder months of the year, but again, it's a perfectly versatile fragrance to wear daytime, evening. It's beautiful, classy, masculine fragrance from Guerlain. Of all the Guerlains I've tried, this is by far my favorite, and I hope you can give it a go. I can't tell you how this compares to the EDP because I haven't tried the EDP, but I can't imagine how much it could be improved from this particular formula. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I enjoy wearing Guerlain Heritage, and I'll see you next time.